Hello guys, welcome to NemTech channel. This is lesson 4 on NumPy universal functions, and we are going to discuss rounding decimals. Basically guys, there are 5 primary ways of rounding decimals in NumPy. The first one is truncation, the second one is fix, the third one is rounding, the fourth one is floor, the fifth one is sale. I want us to begin with the truncation. Now guys, basically these are truncation remove the decimals and return the float number closest to 0, and we use the trunc and fix function for this truncation. Let me show you guys an example how to truncate elements of this array here. First of all, you must import the code library or the module. NumPy, it should be NumPy, but as an alias np, and then we are going to create an object with variable a. Then let me assign it to np dot trunc, and then guys, let me create this array list here. For example, let me say 4 point any value. It should be dot any value. Let me just give it this value, and then also let me another value. For example, let me just say 12 point whichever value it is, and then here let me pass this object to the print function to be executed at the terminal. Let me say print, and then let me pass a, then let me run the codes. And so guys, basically you can see that this one remove the decimals and return the float number closest to to 0. So guys, basically this is how we can truncate elements of this array. Now the first one was trunc, this trunc. The second one, we are going to use the fix to round off. We are going to use the fix function. Then let me run the codes, and then guys, basically, or let me try to change the value so that you can see that there is a change there. Let me run again, and then basically you can see that it has it has truncated these elements. Now the third way is with the rounding. So let me show you an example guys, for you to understand what I'm talking about. Let me try to round off this. Let me try to round off what this value here to the nearest 2 decimal, perhaps to the nearest perhaps 2 decimal or a 1. Let me just give it 2, and then here I'm gonna change to around to the around, and then let me run, and then guys, basically you can see that it has done what it has rounded it to 2 decimal places. And so guys, the fourth way to round off decimals in NumPy is with the floor. Now the floor function rounds off decimals to the nearest lower integer. For example, the floor of 3.166 is a 3.3 point. Let me show you guys an example. Let me change and give it this value like something like a 66 whatever, or a 7. Let me add there 7, and then here let me change it to the floor function. Let me give it a floor. Let me give it a floor. Then let me run, and then guys, basically you can see that we have done what we have flowed these elements. And so guys, the last way to round off decimals in NumPy is with the sale. Basically guys, the sale function rounds off decimal to the nearest upper integer. For example, if you have something like a 3 point basically 3.1 whatever, it will be 6. For example, it will be 4 guys. Let me show you an example here. Let me change it to here. Let me just, for example, let me give it negative. Then let me do it. Let me change this one to sale function. Let me give it sale. Let me give it sale. Then here perhaps let me give it 3. Yeah, let me give it 3 point. Let me change the values here. For example, I can give it even a 1 or a 166 or whichever value you have, and then here perhaps let's try to change so that you can see that there's a difference there. And then let's try to save these elements, and then and so guys, basically you can see that these are cell functions, round off decimals to the nearest upper integer. And guys, basically this is all about rounding decimals in NumPy, and I think you've understood it. Please consider subscribing, like and share this video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.